What's going on, guys? My name is Triforce Diction. Welcome back to another COD Mobile Blueprint episode. So today we're going to be covering the Tier 50 Battle Pass skin for Season 2. Of course, it's the MADDOX AERODYNAMIC. This one is something that I've been kind of looking forward to reviewing, specifically because it's a Tier 50 skin that I actually like. And it's very rare to see that nowadays because most of the Tier 50 skins that come out are not really that great. Of course, there are a few exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, most of the epic Tier 50 skins that come out are not really the best looking. And it's kind of disappointing because you constantly have to wait like every month for the hopes that you finally get a good Tier 50 skin, but you know, it's very rare to find that. And sometimes even you could hope that maybe one of those Tier 50 skins, well, they might look ugly, but they might have some sort of iron sight that does benefit the gun in some way, and sometimes it's just neither. I mean, it could just be vice versa as well. I mean, with the Dingo, the iron sight wasn't really that great with its Tier 50 skin, but the appearance was pretty elegant and nice. Of course, I can't say the same for a lot of other weapons where they might be some sort of like one of those things where it's like an epic skin with like, if you take off a certain attachment, it's gonna go back to the base form of a gun. So yeah, there are a few blueprints that are like that. And even when the MADDOX was being leaked, I assumed, well, I mean, that's kind of my default whenever there's a new Tier 50 skin that's being leaked. I usually assume that they're not really going to be that great. But when I saw this in the leaks, I was actually pretty impressed on how it was actually going to look. If anything, a good portion of the Battle Pass skins this season are pretty decent for the most part. The only ones that I don't really consider to be that great are probably the ones that, of course, have different attachment skins on a default version of a weapon. But the aerodynamic, of course, is probably one of the better ones that you'll find. Is it the best Battle Pass skin of all time? Probably not. A lot of people considered the AK-47 Red Action to be the best one, and that's probably because of nostalgia. But in recent history, I would say that throughout this year so far, I would assume that this is probably going to be one of the better ones, because they're going to have like those times where it's just going to be a whole set of seasons where all of the Tier 50 skins are going to be very disappointing. But there's always that one specific Tier 50 skin that just blows everything away. And one of them that was actually a very missed opportunity was probably the ZRG. I mean, that thing looked amazing, but unfortunately they made the scope too big and it was basically unusable, so it didn't really matter. So now enough of that, let's actually talk about the MADDOX AERODYNAMIC. So overall, the colors are just mainly green. It makes the gun a lot more chunkier, including the iron sights. It's a very, very thick version of a weapon. It seems to kind of like take a theme of very mechanical, but at the same time, somewhat futuristic, like maybe near futuristic. But it's not something that's like, you know, it's not something that's too futuristic, if that makes any sense. I know I'm saying that word a lot, but yeah, it seems like something that would come out of like, you know, some sort of sci-fi movie. So now we want to move on to the iron sight, and another feature that I'll probably talk about at the end of the video. But I want to talk about the iron sight because, yeah, the iron sight's actually pretty good. It doesn't really obstruct too much except for like the side parts, but it's not really that big of a deal, and it does help immensely compared to the original MADDOX base skin. When it comes to the legendary skin, though, I don't really know for sure. I didn't look at the gun too much, but based on just a little bit, just based on what I remember faintly, the iron sight for that legendary might be a little better than this one. But of course, this one's actually good enough for you to not actually want to buy the legendary skin. But of course, with me, I'm obviously going to review it, so it doesn't matter for me either way. So the last thing I want to discuss is also the weapon inspection. So I think the weapon inspection actually might be slightly different. It's not to the point where it's like you see some special effects coming out like a mythic, but it's a little more altered. I'm not sure if it's because of the way the gun looks, but yeah, there's something I did notice that just kind of looks a little bit more different than the base gun. But yeah, just the shine, the colors and everything, it just goes very well. And especially when it comes to the completionist camos that we have. Unfortunately, the MADDOX is a weapon that doesn't have any seasonal camos as of right now, but that will probably change like next season. You know, diamond, Damascus, gold, platinum, they all look extremely good on this weapon, as you guys can see right now. And it kind of makes me wonder how the weapon is actually going to look like if we ever get an all diamond type camo where it's like fully animated and everything. because this one would probably be something I would actually like use all the time. But anyways, that's going to conclude the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Here's the class setup that I have for you guys. It's just the same shit as I had with the diamond video, and you get a better view of how it's going to look like with diamond camo. But anyways, make sure to leave a like, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time.